Hi, my name is Amanda Wauburn, and I'm going to be talking to you about adding language objectives with your ESL students on your current lesson plans. It's very important to add language objectives. Each ESL student has a WEDA score and language objectives that they must meet. Every ESL teacher uses that WEDA score to decide where the student is on their language, speaking, reading, and writing skills. It's important to know what those objectives are and to add them into your lesson so that the student gets the proper accommodations they need for their lesson. If they do not have the proper accommodations, they will not be able to meet the requirements of the lesson. What is WEDA, you ask? The WEDA can-do descriptors are commonly used by ESL teachers in coaching general education teachers about differentiated instruction for English language learners. They can also be used to plan lessons or observe student progress. And today we're going to be talking about how they can be used in lesson plans. An example of how to use them in a lesson plan. I'm going to use a specific student that I am working with. She is an 8th grader from Nepali who is overall in the beginning level, and we'll talk more about those levels in my next slide. The lesson that she is working on is making a 5-paragraph argumentative essay where they are writing outlines, paragraphs, and then typing them into lab. So what would you really need to know if you want to write an essay? You need to know what her writing score is. She is at a 3.3, which would be in the next level than the beginning level. Her WEDA score in reading is a 2.9. But I also think it's important to note her listening skill, which is a 1.9. So even though she writes and reads a little bit better, she only listens at a 1.9. So I think it's important to make sure that you go over this lesson with the student to make sure that she knows exactly what you were asking of her. This is the WEDA can-do descriptors, and you can find these on the internet. That's how I did it. Level 1, entering. Level 2, beginning. Level 3, developing. And this is in the listening category. So I'm looking at the grade cluster 6 through 8. And so when I look at level 1.9, which is what she is in listening, follow one-step commands and instructions, make social language to visual graph displays, identify objects, peoples, or places from oral statements, questions using gestures, and match instructional language with visual representation. So I really think in a classroom setting, when you have a student who is at a 1.9 level, well, she's almost at the beginning level, but not quite. She's still entering in the listening. You really need to make sure that you follow up with her on the one-step oral commands and make sure that she has one step-by-step, one thing that she can focus on first, and then go on from there. Make sure she has some kind of visual to work with. I know that the teacher that had this lesson for her had a writing example for her that she could look off of to know exactly what she was required to do. So going on to the next one, we have reading. I know you can't see it that well. And we also have writing. So because her reading score is at a 2.9, we can go into the beginning box and see what it says. Number 1, sequence illustrated text of functional and non-functional events. Locate main ideas in a series of simple sentences. Find information from text. Read text out loud. Use pre-taught vocabulary. And use L1 to support L2. And use bilingual dictionaries and glossaries. I think for the student to be able to complete her assignment, which is write the paragraph, she's going to be able to need to read the instructions and really, know what she's talking about. So I think a dictionary would be a very appropriate accommodation here. And information from a text structure, which is exactly what the teacher gave her. She gave her an example of the 5-paragraph argumentative essay that she did, so she can kind of look off that and understand what she needs to accomplish. The next one is writing, which this student is at a 3.3 in writing, which means that she is at the developing level. Some things in the developing level she's working on is produce short paragraphs with main ideas and some details, create compound sentences, explain steps in problem solving, compare and contrast information, events, and characters, and give opinions preferences and reactions along with reasons. And actually, the lesson with this writing argumentative essay is perfect for the development level because she's given opinions and reactions. She's also explaining her steps and producing short paragraphs with main ideas and details. So I think this lesson is very appropriate for the developing category. Being successful. Make sure you add the lesson objectives into your lesson planning. And remember, the only way a student can be successful is if you have all the tools to make it happen, which is checking out what her WIDA scores are and actually adding them into your lesson plan. And that is the end of the slideshow. I hope this helps. Thank you.